Welcome to the Scarlet, Blue, and You podcast. I'm Lauren Yaus, your Scarlet, Blue, and You host and the Hannibal LaGrange Alumni Director. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm coming to you from our beautiful Burt studio on the always beautiful HLGU campus. So each semester, the HLGU Theater Department presents a main stage production, and it is always a big deal. And this spring, they are bringing Shakespeare's The Tempest to the stage. So I'm very excited to have Sabrina Brookshire, Assistant Professor of Theater, Campus Technical Director, and Jordan Hosmer, Assistant Professor of English, Theater Instructor, to tell us all about the production. Welcome, Sabrina and Jordan.
Thank you.
Hello.
This is always a fun one because I never know what you guys are going to do. All right, so let's talk about The Tempest. I know nothing except that there's evidently ships because that's on the poster. So everything you say, I will just take at face value.
Well, I mean, there's a storm. It is called The Tempest.
The Tempest.
But, yep.
Bum, bum, bum.
But that largely takes place off stage. There's a shipwreck, or at least we think it's a wreck. Mm-hmm. And there's an exiled duchess who is also a magician, who is
that's
kind of
fun.
Right, and she's kind of masterminding. Not quite revenge, but recompense for all the wrongs
She's
done
messing
against
with
her.
people.
Exactly, yeah. And so she's incorporating a lot of the elves and spirits and things like that of the island to do her bidding and make all of her plans come to fruition.
So this is not your typical island. This is not Manhattan.
No, or at least, I mean, it's not seen Manhattan. I don't know. Maybe there's some elemental spirits in the sewers of Manhattan. I don't know.
Ninja
I
Turtles?
can't speak
Were
to
they
that.
in Manhattan?
I don't remember.
I would like to see the argument for the Ninja Turtles being elemental spirits.
You know, that's the fun thing about Shakespeare, too, is you can often place it out of its time period or element. So we could have gone
Ninja Turtle
for the
for the
sewer-
Tempest.
Did you go very
set
traditional?
in
Yeah.
Manhattan? Well, not super traditional, semi-traditional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Tempest,
Are the men in tights?
the men are not in tights.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. And Prospera in our play is often originally was Prospero.
Oh.
So we actually have an actress playing
And
the
that's
role.
kind of the lead, right?
It is the lead. Mm-hmm.
So the lead is same, somewhat similar name, but female instead of male.
Right. Well, it's easy with the I think it's Italian. Well, it would be Italian. It's Milan. And so male names oftentimes end in O, female names often end in A. That's probably a simplification, but it was easy to take a couple of roles that were originally written male and flip them to female roles.
Okay.
And we were able to have the talented Sarah Hoke take on that role.
It's a big role.
It is. It was a neat opportunity to give we have some really great male and female actors, but to give some of our females a really good chance.
Yeah.
So,
As originally
strong
written,
role.
there's like a female role.
The Duchess?
So, no, the Duchess is the one. It's originally was the Duke.
Oh, I gotcha.
The Duke's daughter is basically the only female if you go exactly as written. But a lot of the characters are flexible in that way, where they can be performed female instead of male pretty easily. And so we did that. It just took a little bit of editing to swap it over and changing a couple of pronouns over and that kind of thing. And I'm not the first one to have done that.
Okay.
Actually, there was a film adaptation a number of years ago from Julie Taymor, and Helen Mirren played Prospera.
Oh.
So,
Well, she would be big shoes to fill.
yeah, I don't know. I haven't asked Sarah if she's intimidated.
She's intimidated by, dame. Isn't she a dame?
I think
Helen
she's
Mirren?
a dame.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Sound like a gangster. Yeah, Helen Mirren,
She is
she's a
kind of
dame.
Yeah.
yeah, Sarah's doing
fun.
a great job. It's
Yeah, because you guys are kind of
exciting.
swapping. Usually Jordan is the one that's acting, and Sabrina, you're directing. And
Acting and
Vice
technical
versa.
director. So I'm building the sets and or on stage. And this time, Sabrina is building the sets and on stage. She is playing a role. So,
Woohoo!
Yeah.
How long has it been since you've been on stage?
It's been in a minute.
I remember
It's
you
been a
were
while.
in Oliver Twist.
I was as a student.
That's been a little while ago.
It's been a while. Yeah, for
but
sure.
you were very memorable.
Well, thanks. That was a really fun role. Yeah, it's so exciting. It's exciting to get to swap and do something different. And, it's a neat opportunity for our students, too, to be under another director. We want them to hear and be under multiple artistic voices. And so it gives them that chance to experience a different director or something different in our scene shop. I am enjoying leading the build. We are, if it's okay to give a little spoiler,
oh, sure.
We're building a shipwreck on stage. And so it's pretty interesting mechanics with, behind trying to get it functional and so our actors can be up on it and everywhere. And so it's been super fun.
I'm envisioning like Pirates of the Caribbean where the skeleton is at the wheel.
Yeah. We do have a wheel.
You do have a wheel.
We do have a wheel.
We do.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
so
it's
this is Shakespeare is usually in two categories, either comedy or drama.
Or tragedy,
Tragedy.
yeah.
And this is a comedy?
Well, so
I'm going to guess no. With the shipwreck.
how critical do you want to get with?
Will I
laugh?
explanation. You should say yes.
All right. So originally, when Shakespeare's plays were published in 1623, it's called the First Folio. They categorized them into three genres: histories, tragedies, comedies.
Okay.
That's also tragedy and comedy was kind of the main genres. You usually wrote plays in either comedy or tragedy. Comedy nowadays we think of as haha, laugh a minute kind of thing. Really, at the time, it was a comedy if it ended happily, and often with a marriage. If it didn't end happily, it was a tragedy. And if it ended happily, it was a comedy.
Okay.
So our genres have gotten a little bit more varied and nuanced than that. And so The Tempest is one of those that kind of falls in between. It's technically a comedy. It's listed as a comedy in the First Folio.
Okay.
And it is quite funny and has some funny scenes. But it's a play that comes later in Shakespeare's career. And a lot of those plays that he was writing at the time had a lot more enchantment and had more elements that made it almost like classic storybook plots. And so it's not so much comedy as in, it's side-splittingly funny. I do think that there are some very funny scenes in there.
Okay.
But it's a little bit more of a fantasy.
Nice.
I think that's a more accurate way to describe it.
Well, I was not expecting it. I thought it was going to be all doom and gloom. So I am now excited.
A little bit of doom, no gloom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And we should probably talk about when it is.
It is March 21st through the 23rd.
So 3 nights.
Yep, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Nice.
So we have kind
7
of our
o'clock
normal run at
each
7
night.
p.m.
Tickets are on sale now.
Yep. And this is going to run a little over an hour.
So it's shorter.
It's abridged. I edited it down from its full run length of 2 hours
I
down
love
to.
that you edited it.
I was looking
and left the funny bits.
I was looking at different versions, but I was like, instead of getting one that I would have to work around, I wanted to see if I could do an edit myself and get it down to the length that we were wanting to do, something a little bit more bite-sized and one act, and keep the bits that I wanted. And so it was actually pretty fun. It was a fun process.
Very cool. All right.
And I encourage people, even if you're not a Shakespeare person or maybe you've never seen Shakespeare performed or read it, like come and try it.
This
try
is
it
a good
out.
way to try
I think it's
it.
a good way to start. Whether if you enjoy it or not, like come and give it a try. And since it is, abbreviated, it's a little shorter, I think it'd be a good place to start. So, yeah.
And once the lights come on, it's over. Right? No
Yep,
intermission?
no intermission on this one. Yep.
No intermission.
Okay.
Yeah.
We start and we go till it's done. It ain't over until it is over.
Yes. And you guys have, so what's the best way for people to buy tickets?
Simplest way is to get online. So to go to our website through the hlg.edu.
Yeah.
We also have posters up around town with QR codes that you can go to.
We'll throw up a link with this too.
Yeah. And so that's probably the simplest way.
You can pick your seats.
Pick a seat.
seat.
You can even get a printed home ticket if you want, or you can set it up for will call and pick it up the night of. That's really simple. You can always call our box office. But and so we'll get back to you and we'll be able to make reservations that way. But the more convenient way, the simplest way, the way that gives you most choice is to go through the website.
Perfect. And those are up and running for all 3 nights. And you have some discounts for like groups and seniors.
We do. Yep. Groups of 10 or more get a discount for, I think it's $2 off each section because it's tiered seating.
Sure.
So tiered prices. And then seniors 60 or over can also get a discount.
Sweet.
As well.
And one of the wonderful, there are so many perks to being an HLGU employee, but one of them is that we get to enjoy your productions for free. We get 1 free ticket.
Absolutely.
And so do our students.
Yep. And we want everyone to come and check out the thing that we've done and the thing that their
you
classmates or the students, maybe they've been in your class, have done. They're putting in a lot of work on this.
And you guys always do. Your productions are always very well done.
Well, and the actors are putting in quite a bit of work because
I would think memorizing Shakespeare
is the easiest thing. Yeah, so
kind of like my biggest nightmare.
Last night was our first night off book, and Jordan is so encouraging because we were all like line, and I felt like we were doing just not so great. And he's like, "You guys are doing great." But it is hard to memorize.
I
it's
bet.
just not the way we speak in words and orders that are just strange. And anyways,
some of the syntax is more for syllable than for.
And the audience is probably not going to know. We're going to be like, it sounds right to me.
You want to, you want to nail it.
You do.
With the intent that he had. And so you really want to get all that placement right. But
Shakespeare
it is interesting.
does create rhythms. And so we want to get those rhythms as best
Are there
as
any
we
big,
can.
long speeches?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, good.
Prospera, after we cast Sarah and sat down for our first read through, she was laughing. I think she was laughing at one of our other actresses who had like this little monologue.
And you were like, "Oh, honey."
I was like, "Sarah, flip over to page 35," and she did. And she was like, "Oh,
oh, look at that there,
pages."
It runs off of one page and onto another.
Oh no!
But she's like casting an enchantment and talking about elves of brooks and dales and things like that. It's beautiful stuff.
And then my character gets to come in and have a whole page of declaring doom. So
nice.
Exactly, she gets to scare the pants off of the nasty courtiers who did Prospero wrong,
but are not wearing tights.
Are not wearing.
They're not wearing tights.
I want to be sure that they are wearing pants, but not tights. So, if anything, more modest than traditionally. So
yeah, okay, there you go. We don't want to show off any knees.
We didn't say that.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited. So March 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 7 o'clock, right here in the Roland Fine Arts Center in our beautiful Parker Theater. Tickets are on sale online or contact the box office, but online is easiest and best for the buyer because you can pick your seats.
Yep.
We're excited. It's going to be not as long, which is nice, so you can really just sit and
make it a bit of an earlier evening.
Yeah. Yeah, go for dessert afterwards.
Exactly.
Discuss.
Yes. It's part of theater.
Yes.
Go talk about it, discuss. We hope they walk away wanting to, talk about things further and talk about what they got out of it.
Oh my gosh, that girl had to deliver such a big line. She did
it. Something else about this one, I think, too, is just hopefully, we hope, going to be very visually interesting and intriguing. And so it will be a spectacle.
Yeah, being a fantasy has given us the option. And Sabrina's come up with a very visually appealing set design that we get to bring, and then we get to do some cool things with lighting and costuming. So
great.
It will be a feast for the eyes as well as the ears.
Yeah.
So fun. All right, so you guys have also been doing some other stuff this spring.
Yeah.
Because this is not enough Shakespeare. You've also had an improv event. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Yeah. So this semester, we wanted to, instead of just doing one really big thing, maybe do something every month. And so at the beginning of the semester, we started a small improv group to perform in February. So we could aim toward having an improv performance. And we've done a couple. Our first improv performance was for American Heritage Girls.
Oh, fun.
Daniel Baptist. And we've accompanied that with being able to also lead some acting workshops. And so it's provided a unique opportunity to not just go and perform, but to get people up and moving with us, which has been super fun. Not all the performances are as interactive, but improv is always somewhat interactive with our audience. We take suggestions from them with the games that we're playing. And so our actors during rehearsal times learned how to do performance improv. We enjoy using improvisational games and exercises to help our actors learn and grow into characterization or learning how to become something physically and things like that. But this was definitely with the purpose of performance improv, which is typically comedic, hopefully.
Right. Should be entertaining.
And it's been so fun. And so we practice the games and we do different situations in rehearsal. So when we get to the performance, we ask our audience for suggestions. So then it is, they may know the games and like the premise of how to play them, but it is still improv and off the cuff. And
so fun.
And, we all live to laugh. And so it's fun to be able to laugh with people. And we're working with some high schools. We even have some future improv dates throughout the semester to go into some high schools and get to hang out with their acting teams and performers and hopefully improv with them and teach them skills as well. So it's been a unique opportunity. And it's a small team of 6 students, that are traveling to do that. And not just traveling, but on campus as well. And then we also have a 1-act that is student directed in April. And they're working on that and the title and all of what that will look like.
Nice.
And that will be in Theater in the Round. And so,
I always like those.
Yeah, we've had some really unique performance types this semester, I feel like, with having the improv group and then having Shakespeare and then getting to do Theater in the Round. We turn our Parker stage into a round. And each performances will be audiences of 50. And so it's more intimate. You're closer to the actors. You've never experienced Theater in the Round. It's definitely different because they can see you. You can see them.
They make eye contact.
Yeah. It's so, and then on that Friday night that we have that performance, our Acting 2 class will also be presenting. So lots of different types of performances.
That's great. Yeah. Good energy, guys. Thanks. Good job thinking outside the box. Yeah. All right. Well, anything we missed? I know you guys do so much. I don't want to miss anything.
Well, I mean, if you really want me to weigh in on the ins and outs of the Tempest, but I'll leave it for you to see the performance. And
then you come back on and we can discuss.
If you want to hear him weigh in, come to the talk back. It would be March 22nd. After the show, we'll have a talk back.
Oh, so you're doing that again. Yeah. So fun.
And so for you to come ask questions to Jordan or the actors.
So if you come on that, Friday night, then it's a bonus night because you get to attend the director's cut.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, if you want to come another night, you can come just to the talk back Friday night.
Excellent. I'm so glad you mentioned that. I hadn't heard that was happening.
So you can hear a little bit of the actors talk about their experience of it, what they learned. It's been fun hearing some of the actors doing the first read through and being like, I have no idea what I'm saying. Yeah. And then as we get on the stage and are performing it, there's some light bulbs where it's like, okay, yeah.
It's
amazing. This is what's going on.
How memorizing and consuming it over and over, it's like you start to even understand in that way through the memorization. Oh, that's what that means. This light bulb.
Oh, that's not a compliment. Nice. Yeah.
But and then also just to put a plug, we have so many ways that people can volunteer and be a part of our theater program, from helping in the box office. We always need box office staff. And so if you hear these performance dates and you have a night that you could come and help, we would love that. Ushering, handing out playbills, but we also have a lot of backstage ways that you can help as well. If you enjoy costuming, whether you can sew or not, we always have ways to help with costuming.
Okay.
Scenic building, construction. We're always working on set painting, from just, slapping a coat on there to detailed work, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm sure we can find a way to get people plugged in. And so we really invite our community to come engage beyond just setting in the audience. If they would like to come, we would love to have them.
Is there possibly a musical in the future?
Yeah.
There is? Yeah. Can you say which semester?
We're working on, so we have some dates and we're working on now titles and that. And so with that comes a complexity of how to shape your season. Where do you put the play? Where do you do musicals?
But somewhere in the 24-25 school year?
Yes.
There will be a musical?
There will be a musical. Yes. Yeah. We're super excited.
This might be the year that I try out and try to join the cast. That would be so fun.
Yay! Please,
it's been a while.
Lord.
I've been since high school.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Next year, we can swap and I can.
Oh, you can talk to me about being in the musical.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So stay tuned. Okay. We'll hopefully do a season reveal. at some point soon. And so we're working on it right now.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to the Scarlet, Blue, and You podcast. Remember, keep a song in your heart, preferably the HLGU alma mater, and Hannibal LaGrange in your mind.